A blockbuster decision in the civil fraud case against former President Trump and his companies.
A judge has ordered them to pay $364 million in fines. Trump has also been barred from business in New York for 3 years. His son's barred for 2 years. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor has been following this case from the beginning and is here now with all of the details for us. Alice.
It's a 92-page decision. It was posted online, so all day we were all hitting refresh on the computer constantly. This afternoon he found the defendants liable for false financial statements, falsifying business records, and conspiracy. During the trial, we heard from 40 witnesses, including the former president, who took shots at the judge and the attorney general while on the stand. In his decision, Judge Arthur Engoron wrote that while Mr. Trump was on the stand, he frequently interjected long, irrelevant speeches, and that his refusal to answer the questions directly or, in some cases, at all, severely compromised his credibility. In handing down his punishment, the judge noted New York means business in combating business fraud. In his decision posted online Friday afternoon, Judge Arthur Engoron wrote, when confronted at trial with the statements, defendants' fact and expert witnesses simply denied reality, and defendants failed to accept responsibility or to impose internal controls to prevent future recurrences. He ordered they pay around $364 million. Defendant Donald Trump and related Trump Organization entities are liable for more than $354 million. Eric and Donald Trump Jr. are both liable for more than $4 million each, and former Trump Organization CFO Alan Weisselberg is liable for $1 million.
In no case was there a fraud with this magnitude of punishment, an extraordinary sum of dollars of punishment where there was no victim.
This is close to the $370 million New York Attorney General Letitia James was asking for, equal to what she said was saved interest and other ill-gotten gains, an amount one of the defense attorneys during trial called the death penalty against them professionally. Before the bench trial began, Judge Engoron ruled Trump and top execs at the Trump Organization committed fraud for years, deceiving banks, insurers, and others by inflating his assets and net worth on statements of financial condition for 11 years in order to get better loan terms and other deals. Engoron then ordered some of Trump's business licenses rescinded, but an appeals court halted that order. An independent monitor agreed upon by both parties was ordered to oversee Trump Organization operations, and now that monitor will continue. The judge also ordered an independent director of compliance. Attorneys for the defendants argued there were no victims and none of the banks or others complained. Prosecutors argued without the low interest rate savings, Trump would have been below the liquidity threshold for one of the banks, arguing cash had become an issue in 2016. In closing arguments, they said in misleading lenders, it prices out honest borrowers and distorts the market. New York's anti-fraud law does not require the attorney general to show there was harm to anyone, only that there were repeated fraudulent or illegal acts. Trump attorney Alina Habba released a statement that reads in part, quote, given the grave stakes, we trust that the appellate division will overturn this egregious verdict and end this relentless persecution against my clients. Now, the judge did back away from that pretrial ruling that would have dissolved the former president's companies. That had been halted anyway on appeal, as mentioned in the story. We are expecting a news conference from the attorney general later this evening. Christina Maurice.
Alice, you can't help but notice there's no jury here. Why is that the case?
Of course, and that was the big question everyone wants to know. Why was this a bench trial? Why was the judge making this decision and not a jury? Well, state law doesn't allow for juries in this type of lawsuit, but as the judge noted in his decision and frequently throughout the trial, neither party requested or asked for a jury either.
So no jury, no prison time ever really spoken about during this trial either, right?
That's right, because it was a civil case, not a criminal case.
Got it.
Okay, Alice.
Thank you, Alice.
Thanks so much. Well, the Trump name, of course, has been synonymous with real estate in New York for decades now. And as we've mentioned, the judge's decision largely prohibits him from doing business here.
Former New York prosecutor and Pace University law professor Bennett Gershman joined us on CBS New York when that decision first came out earlier this afternoon to discuss that part of the penalty.
I'm sure that Mr. Trump doesn't appreciate the fact that he's being left out. He's now just an outsider, a distant onlooker. But certainly he's not going to have any role in it. His sons are not going to have any role in the businesses.
As Alice mentioned, in addition to the independent monitor ordered to oversee Trump Organization's operations, a director of compliance will also be installed.
Moving forward now, the former president has a busy court docket. Of course, his next trial was set to begin on March the 4th in Washington over the election interference case involving the January 6th riot, but that has been postponed with no new date set. Then, on March 25th, a trial is set to start here in New York over the alleged hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels. The Supreme Court could rule at any time in a Colorado case over whether he is eligible for that state's ballot in the presidential race. And Trump is also charged in Georgia for attempts to overturn election results there, but no trial date has been set. And we've got continuing coverage, and we could flesh this all out for you. All the details on our website. You can find a breakdown of Trump's net worth, see the special report on our streaming service when the news first broke, and so much more. It's all there for you at cbsnewyork.com.